Musings on a weekday. So, my musings for today is centered around a movie that I watched some days ago, which some of you would know. And if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's a good watch. The movie is titled Monica, and it is on Uche Montana TV on YouTube. And the story is centered around the entitlement of Nigerian families and the huge responsibility on the first child. I find the theme very intriguing because it's one of the topics that I actually am having with my auntie, and I want to do it on the talk show. Coming from a Nigerian background, I have witnessed a lot of entitlements that stems in the family unit, especially Nigerian homes. I can't speak for outside, but yeah. And I am, what's the word? I guess I would say I'm lucky to have been opened to that aspect. And that thanks would be to my sister actually. When I was much younger, she is the ada of the house. I'm the last child. So she would always say things and make me realize that certain asks or certain requests I made came off entitled, even certain statements. So she would always check me. And every time we had those conversations surrounding different scenarios, not just one, it always made me self aware on the expectations that she had as the Ada and that my other sibling, my brother, also had as the first son. And of a thing called, I don't know if I'll say last born benefits. I don't know if that's a thing, but yeah. So being in that situation has made me open my mind to certain guilt, emotional manipulation that parents have or use as a weapon of control on the older siblings. So this movie, Monica, really explores that theme, and I don't really want to go into long details on it because I don't want to do like spoilers and stuff like that. If you have the time, it has a part one and part two, so that's like maybe 4 hours or 4.5 hours. Well, a film, yeah, for both of them if you decide to watch the two. But it's heart wrenching in, I guess, in a good way, because at the end, if you're able to sit down and watch it, there's a self growth that happens once you self reflect and you can point to the dynamic that you are in your own family. So if you're the entitled younger one, or if you're the older one who's carrying everything and really, you know, weathering, is that the word? Like the burden is too much for you, so it's pulling you down. But because we come from a culture that's really emphasizing on family first, blood is thicker than water, and having to, you know, get the blessings of your parents by standing there and doing everything that is asked of you, basically losing yourself in the process. And you could see in the story how the protagonist, Monica, struggles and how she loses herself, how she sacrifices herself for the benefit of the siblings, of the benefits of the mother and the father. And then you can see one parent is trying to, you know, speak on her behalf, but the parent's voice is not strong enough and they don't have control. They do have control, but they don't take the control and push further. I mean, some would say that he's the weaker parent, and maybe not, but I think it's also the specific dynamic of the story of the family unit in the story. So watching that film and having all that, lingering feelings that came with it, and also being, Lord, it's, and I guess I should say this to my sister as well. I would like to thank her for opening my eyes to certain conversations, including the entitlement part of it, but also talking about, you know, self growth, and also pulling up for yourself, because the more responsibilities you carry, the more you're able to grow and want for yourself. But the wanting is not just in desire, but in action. It makes you grow up to take steps that will further your life. They say there are two types of hard, or rather, life is hard in generally. It is hard to be rich and comfortable. It is hard to be poor and, choose the hard you would take. And rich doesn't necessarily mean just material things, but like, being able to afford things that will make you comfortable, that will give you peace, that will make you navigate life and have multiple choices, because choices is really important. If you're limited by your choices, you realize that you do things that you would not normally do, and you would not only disappoint yourself, but you disappoint people around you. And then you compromise on a lot of things. So that movie brought on things that I had been musing about, and I just needed to do a video about it because there was so much richness in it. Another aspect that I really liked was the take on loyalty. How there's entitlement on one hand, but that you would have a family kind of backstab you after everything that you have done. And then there are different levels to the backstabbing. So another thing that I would say my sister taught me is so funny, is that there are things that, you know, are a no-no for family. And if you watch the movie, you would understand where I'm going with this. But I don't want to give the plot. But knowing fully well that there's that possibility, like, where do you draw the line? Is it because the person sacrificed so much, so you then lose your respect for the person because say finish has entered? I guess this is Nigerian balance for those who understand. But yeah, basically you take the person for granted, and the things that would not be commonplace, you would then do those things to the person. Anyway, it's I'm gonna be dropping more musings because apparently my brain is always churning. I'm always having things to, you know, ponder on, and this is one of it. So check out the movie. Let me know your thoughts on it, and if it relates to you, what conversations you would like to start having in your family unit, and what order or what number you are in your home. So are you the entitled one, or are you the sacrificial lamb, or are you the middle child who mediates both sides, and are you someone at the different levels or different times? So let me know in the comment section. I would be reading from you guys, and yeah, I just wanted to share that. It's Is it peculiar to Nigerian homes or African homes, or do we have such scenarios in, other cultures and other race? Let me know. Okay, bye bye.